the Fixxiverse. It's what you, my YouTube friends, have taken to calling my connected 100 Days worlds and my single-player world of Tovalyn, since they all exist in the same overall universe. Spoiler alert, it's a lot bigger than you know. After 9 100 Days videos and just shy of 200 single-player Bedrock videos, I thought I should take a moment to explain, well, everything. It all starts with what our people call Original Earth. That's basically our Earth, just in the future a little bit. There was an experiment. My name is James Doan, the captain of the Sheriff. This will be the final test of our dark matter conversion experiment. For the first time in human history, if this works, energy will be free to all humans in the galaxy. We have traveled to an uninhabited world to conduct the experiment. This will be the first time gray matter has been released in the real world. If something were to go wrong, we should be far enough away from anything alive to endanger them.
Engaging Beam 1. Black Goat, engage Beam 2.
Engaging. Beam 2 active and on course to collide.
Manor Merrick, go ahead.
We may have a problem. We're detecting a giant solar flare coming towards us.
Dr. Landon, what will happen when they collide?
Sir, I don't know.
Impact. In 3, 2, 1.
That was the singular thing that set everything else in motion. You see, in our Fixxiverse, there was no life outside original Earth. There were no aliens or anything like that. Every planet was just a ball of rock circling a distant star, until the Singularity. At the time, the crew of the Black Goat and its sister ship, the Sheriff, thought it was just an accident, but maybe not so much. More on that later. The moment the dark matter hit the bead and the Singularity was formed, there were two main results. An expanding energy wave that changed the very fabric of our reality from the soft shapes and curves, atomic structure, and physics that we all know now to a kind of cube-based physics. As the enormous energy wave ripped through the universe, every planet, asteroid, living thing in its path became a voxel, a cubed version of itself. The other result is a kind of bubble around the planet nearest to the experiment site, which is the planet Tovalyn. We'll get back to the bubble in a few, but first we have to talk about the two spaceships. The Black Goat was damaged, but able to land on the moon of Apuro in the present day, or, well, what we're calling Year Zero. The crew, unable to pierce the Singularity bubble, has taken to building a moon base, and going to live there for the foreseeable future. The other ship that conducted the experiment, the Sheriff, was not so lucky. It was caught in a wormhole and projected backwards in time. Every minute spent on the Sheriff equaled 100 years into the past. As the escape pods ejected, they landed on Tovalyn, spread all over the planet, and spread throughout 9,500 years of time.
Incoming message. Incoming message.
Oh, yes.
Incoming message.
Yes, play message.
Message from Captain Ramirez.
This message is for any survivors of the Sheriff. I imagine the computer woke you from deep sleep and you're likely a little foggy. Our ship, the Sheriff, was hopelessly caught in a singularity and hurled back through time. By the time we realised what was going on, I ordered abandoned ship. What I learned later is the first escape pods to eject, they landed the closest to our present day. The longer it took to escape our ship, the further back in time we were projected. I was the last to leave and landed here on this planet 9,500 years in our past. I don't believe there'll be any rescue or any chance to return to our time. Your task is to land on the planet Tovalyn and create a life for you and your escape pod crew. The solar panels will charge the pod enough to wake and release a new crew member every 5 days. As commander of your lifeboat, you'll be in charge of creating a space for them to work and live on the planet. You must blend in. There is a strong anti-technology bias on this planet and Inquisitors who will arrest anyone who might be from our ship. The last thing I have to tell you, there are creatures on this world that will attack you on sight. Be wary, be safe, build a society and a good life. Godspeed.
About 1,500 years in the past, Lieutenant Ross landed in an escape pod on the planet. Given the task to create a colony, he succeeded. In only 100 days, he built a house and a profession for all of his crewmates. Then, just when he was about to go find his wife and son... Captain Ramirez?
Lieutenant, hello. It's been a long time.
I don't... You...
I look older? Yeah, well, I suppose I do.
I don't understand. I got the message. You said you crashed here 9,500 years in the past. How are you...
Well, 9,532 years from the Singularity, but Lieutenant, we're currently still a century and a half from what I believe, if my maths is right.
But how are you alive?
I've been in and out of deep sleep for thousands of years now, coming out every time new escape pods arrive.
Forgive me, Captain, it's been a while since my academy days, but I understood deep sleep was a one-off. Once you are woken, you can't go back under.
Yes, normally. Our ship was outfitted with some new technology for command. Our escape pods can freeze and unfreeze us indefinitely.
This is a lot to take in. I have just finished my assignment setting up our colony here. This morning, the last of our 20 arrived. Each has living quarters and a job. Some are happier about their assignment than others, but I believe we're set and ready to make outside contact.
Yes, I'm aware of your progress. Pove updated me when he came to show me the way to your island.
You know Pove?
We all know the Wandering Traders. In fact, the Wandering Traders are us. Well, I suppose everyone on this planet are our descendants technically, but most have forgotten. The Wandering Traders have kept our ways, our secrets, and much of our knowledge. They pose as traders, but in reality have developed a network to cover the planet, looking for and helping establish new lifeboat crews as they arrive. They've been doing it in disguise for thousands of years now, so many generations.
I don't understand. Captain, why didn't he just tell me?
I've been doing this a long time, Lieutenant. I've learnt that people need time to recover their memories and adjust to life here on Tovalyn after deep sleep. But I have other things to discuss with you.
Yes, Pove was in fact looking for the escape pod carrying my family, Rose and my son Bobby.
Yes, I know. I knew them, in fact, helped them settle when they landed.
What do you mean knew them?
Lieutenant, I'm sorry. Your family landed on this planet nearly 2,000 years ago. Their pod was delayed ejecting from the Sheriff, so they left after you. Every minute aboard the Sheriff as it was propelled through the Singularity was 100 years into this planet's past. Rose lived a long, healthy life here, learning medicine and saving countless lives. She died at the age of 89. Your son, Bob, married a wandering trader's daughter and fathered several boys himself, all of whom became traders and have helped settle so many of our colonies across the globe. They were both heroes to Tovalyn. I'm so sorry.
Dr. Landon to Captain Dohan. Dr. Bradshaw, please come to Lab 1 immediately.
Dr. Landon, what's wrong?
Sir, you need to see this. We sent a probe down to the planet, sir.
Yes, Dr. Bradshaw discussed it with me.
The planet Tovalyn was a barren, rocky planet, completely devoid of life.
Yeah, that's why Star Command picked this particular place for our experiment.
Yes, sir, but looking out our windows, it's much more green and blue than gray. The probe just sent back its first footage. I'm going to play it side by side with footage we recorded before the experiment.
I don't understand. Where did all the trees and grass and...
Just wait, Captain.
What? Commander, is that a road?
Just wait.
Do you know what this means? Somehow, there are people. So how could that have happened? Well, before being recruited to participate in the experiment, the Sheriff was a science vessel studying life in zero-G. It was filled to the brim with living things, seeds, saplings, animals, bacteria, and everything else you could need to start life. Though the crew ejected off the ship quickly enough only to fall between current day and 10,000 years in the past, the actual bones of the ship traveled back much, much further, breaking out millions of years in the past, and spreading life all over the planet. Life on Tovalyn was difficult. Though technologically advanced, the crew had no idea about farming, animal husbandry, tool forging, etc., and many of the crew died that first winter. Eventually, after many generations, a kind of medieval society formed on the planet. 9,500 years is a lot of time for various societies to establish. All over the world, there are various kingdoms, castles, countries, governments, all that stuff, but overall, 3 major factions have become prominent. The Council of Events, the Wandering Traders, and the Inquisitors. The Council of Events is a window into life on the planet. They are, at face value, historians. They log all events in books and are looked at kind of as untouchable. They can go anywhere and are able to act neutral in all cases. They have made some concessions to gain that freedom and protection. They are strictly forbidden to write about the history of humans before crashing on Tovalyn. This was determined early on. If people were always looking into the stars to be rescued, they won't do the work it takes to actually move forward in the world. The crew and their descendants had to come to terms that there would be no help coming. They were 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 years before humans even dreamt of spaceflight. They would be on their own. This organization works to integrate escape capsules from the Sheriff into the medieval Tovalyn life. As soon as a capsule lands, it is a race between the traders and the Inquisitors to arrive first. The traders act like typical medieval merchants, but in private they keep the traditions and language of the original crew of the Sheriff. In an upcoming 200 Days Colony Edition, we're going to be digging a lot more into the Wandering Trader lifestyle. Very little of the Inquisitors has been revealed yet, as I'm holding on to that to dish out in my upcoming series. Here's the big announcement. 1 year in Minecraft. That's right, 100 days? Nah, we can do more. 1 year in Minecraft upcoming for Season 2 of Bedrock Survival with Fix. The series will be based on building the Inquisitor city and hashing out all of their motivations. But what is known so far? They are attempting to hold all societies in the universe to a certain point in time and technology. Why? We'll get to the why in future videos. If a planet gets too far ahead, they'll do everything they can to bomb them back to the Dark Ages, and that includes magic. If a mage gets too far ahead, he or she will be banished and left to die on some sort of other prison planet. Through my 100 Days videos, I've started building up more and more characters to sort of act as our eyes and ears into these worlds. I think I should touch on them here. Let's start with Bob. I think it all starts with Bob. You see, I was actually born on a spaceship called the Sheriff. There was some sort of accident and we had to evacuate. We crashed on a planet called Tovalyn. I was just a child when we crashed, but eventually trained as a test pilot. One of our tests was to leave the singularity that surrounded Tovalyn.
A singularity?
It's kind of a field that surrounds the planet. It wouldn't let any signal through, so my mission was to exit the Singularity and drop a beacon. Unfortunately, it didn't go as planned. My ship hit the field and was projected out wildly fast. I was put into deep sleep and only woken once the ship crashed on a distant planet. I have no idea how long or far I traveled from Tovalyn.
Wow, and the planet you crashed on was...
That planet is where I met my master and eventually learned magic. We later come to find out that that planet is called Muscada, and it's kind of a prison planet. The Mage Council... Oh, who are they? We'll find that out later as well. The Mage Council will banish anyone who veers too far down the road of the dark arts to the planet Muscada, which is just filled to the brink with terrible monsters and worse. Somehow, Bob the apprentice and his master mage were able to create a life there and survive, for a time. I'll start with my betrayal. I had a great friend once. He found me living in a modest village. All the people of my village were killed in a brutal monster attack, and he took me in. Then he began to train me in the arcane arts. He was a good master and fine teacher. Eventually we took in more students, and I was his assistant. It was a good time of my life. So exciting, learning new spells each day.
I'm sorry, spells as in magic?
Yes, magic. Magic and a great many other things in this world and others are very real, my dear. As the interview continued, Old Man Bob had some very, very interesting things to say about the Inquisitors.
So, Bob, you lived on Tovalyn as a young man, then the mage world with your master after that. How did you get here?
Yes, we'll get there in time, but first, I need to tell you about the Inquisitors.
They sound like bad guys.
Yes, I suppose they are. What would you say if I told you this country you live in...
The United States.
Yes, the United States is not the only United States of America in the galaxy. You see, the sheriff, the spaceship I was born on, was from a United States. Many years ago, I became friends with a brilliant man. He and I have been working closely on a theory that there is an organization that is somehow guiding the inhabited planets of the galaxy.
There is a shadowy group on multiple planets working behind the scenes?
Yes. My friend believed they've gone under many different names. Illuminati, Knights Templar, Inquisitors. On Tovalyn, they worked to keep us in the mid-ages for many, many centuries. On other planets, we think they've attempted to mirror this history of what we call original Earth.
Whoa.
For example, my mother used to tell me of a city in my United States called Miami.
I never heard of it.
It's where she was born, but yes, there's no such city here. But I've seen the maps of my parents' United States. The geography is all different, but many of the names are the same.
This is a lot to take in.
That's right. In a universe that prior to the Singularity was dark and barren and rocky, we're learning that not only are there life-filled planets, but there are alternate Earths that share similar but different histories, similar but different cultures and names. Yeah, there's a lot more coming on this. Before we finish off Bob's tale, we need to talk about the Master Mage. Their lives are intertwined, and it's important to give him his due.
Guilty.
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 So it is decided. For practicing the dark arts of the arcane, you will be stripped of all magical abilities and banished from this world for the rest of your days. Sentence to be carried out immediately.
So this is how it is. I can't believe they actually did it. Perhaps one of my more interesting experiments may have gone wrong, but the council wouldn't even listen to my reasoning. I told them I could correct it, but they took my power and they sent me here. By making an item frame with some of these cows I just slaughtered and putting a book near the liquid Ethereum, the magic happens. Literally, the magic happens. By unlocking this book, I unlocked my own spells. Now, I'm nowhere near the powerful wizard that I was when I was banished, but I have the ability to cast spells again. And with that, though the Master Mage was stripped of all his arcane ability, he was able to start to regain his power. After living on this prison planet for a while, he found a village and took up residence there. He didn't think much of the people there, they seemed quite beneath him, but for a time at least he had shelter and a place he could start to regain some of his abilities. Eventually our Master Mage befriended one of those villagers. His name was Bob. He taught him the ways of the arcane to train him so that he could better take care of himself and be less of a hindrance on the Master Mage at first, and eventually became his friend. In the end, though, the Master's heart softened. He became friends with Bob, he started looking after him and all of his newly acquired students, and, well, in the end, when it was time for him to go through the portal and take his great revenge on the Mage Council, this happened. Well, today's the day. It is time. My students gathered to see me off. I think there were some who were sad to see me go. Some were worried about what would happen to them once their protector, their teacher, had left them. I can't explain what happened exactly. I was looking at the portal, envisioning my revenge, my rage at the people who imprisoned me in this place, and I just couldn't find that fire. I couldn't find the anger or the lust for revenge against those who did me wrong. Instead, there was worry. I worried for my people, the ones who followed me, who left their village to come here and build a better society under my teachings. I only need one more step forward to leave this place where monster attacks are the order of the day and where every single step forward is met with resistance and pain. And yet, I could not take that last step. I turned around and returned to my people. Maybe tomorrow, I thought. Maybe tomorrow I'll seek my revenge. But today, after 100 days in this place, we have a lot of work to do. All was good in the little fledgling Mage Academy, for a time. Eventually, the Mage Council learned of this, and it was strictly forbidden for someone who had been banished to teach the arcane to another. The Mage Council sent their forces against the Master Mage, Bob, and the other students. Our gateway was completely drained of power. I checked and double-checked this thing before going to sleep last night, and I know that there was lots of power. I don't know how this happened, so I had to make a run for it. I ran out of the somewhat safety of my castle only to see dawn had broken. Been fighting for a day and a night. I ran to the church and activated the gateway. Somehow I made it before the Ender Guardian caught up to me. I activated the gateway and dove through. I came out of the gateway, not in my old village, surrounded by my students and my friend, but in a cell. There's no other answer I could see. They had captured me. Again. It was Bob, my oldest friend. I asked him how he did it, though it was easy enough to figure out. If anyone had my gateway key, they could have repositioned it to spit me out anywhere in the entire universe. I didn't think that I needed to hide it from my students. But why? We had a plan. He explained how I had abandoned him. How I had just left him to do the teaching while I trained on my own. He and the students were in so much fear of the council, and they didn't trust me to protect them. As it turned out, maybe he was right. Maybe they all were. I tried explaining, but it was done. Bob had cut a deal. He apologized to me for what it was worth, and he portaled away. I was alone, banished again. Though, perhaps my turn away from the dark arts was not total and complete. Perhaps my rage at the council, my rage at Bob, perhaps I could find that spark again if I just reached deep enough. That dark spark. Oh, yes. Yes. There it is. There are two sides to every coin, however. Though it looks like Bob is a terrible villain, he had his reasons. I'm sure that you will never forgive me. You shouldn't, anyway. You took me in when I was the last living person in my village, surrounded by terrible monsters. You not only protected me, but you taught me the arcane, and further, You trusted me with teaching our new school. And yet, I lived in fear. If the council was so powerful they could banish someone who is as strong as you, what could you possibly do to defend us? I didn't fear for myself, but for the helpless and weak students who were not yet trained enough to protect themselves. I'm sorry. I should have believed in you and fought by your side. The council indeed did strip me of my power like you, and yet, in this new place, I found a different kind of power. Something based in life and hope, not blood and death. Through study here, I've discovered a spell buried deep within elven knowledge that I believe will rescue you from the council's jail and bring you here. I have prepared this place for you. I remember the times you talked about the smell of the breeze going through all the different trees and plants. I remember seeing you sit at the small lake outside our city walls and just looking over the water. Master, I owe you everything, a debt I cannot possibly repay, but I hope in time, living here in this place, you will find peace. Your student and friend, Bob. I left the book in a lectern and my armor on stand. I put all my items in the house where my master will see when he emerges from the portal. And I took one last look around. What I did here was good. And maybe, possibly, this will repay a portion of my debt from my betrayal. I don't know what the outcome of this spell will be for me, but I don't expect to live through it. The Elven book was very vague, but it was clear enough about one thing. The spell can only be used to bring someone here, but at the cost of sending the caster away. Like everything else with the Alfheim elves, it is a trade. I open the portal, I focus my mind, and I cast the spell.
So you saved your master and used the portal to bring you here?
Well, not exactly. The portal spell was incredibly complex. It wasn't a summoning spell, but a replacement spell. I could summon my master out of his cell, but I would be projected in the opposite direction. There was no way to select a destination. I owed him everything, so there was really no question if I would do it. I didn't know if it would bring me to a survivable world or the vacuum of space. It was my utter surprise to appear here in middle of Pittsburgh in some sort of alternate United States. I arrived many years ago and despite never finding my way back to my family, managed to make a good life.
Bob, hold on a second. I just got some sort of emergency broadcasting system.
Huh. So they did it. I didn't think it would be so soon.
I don't understand. Who?
The Inquisitors. I'm sorry, my dear.
What's happening? Bob? What's happening?
Yeah, remember that bomb blast, because that's going to come back in our story in just a few. But before Bob, well, got obliterated, he had a few other things to say about his very, very good friend, Mr. Percy Baskin.
Tell me more about your brilliant friend.
Yes, his name was Percy Baskin.
Was?
Yes, sadly he got sick. We lost him 8 years ago.
That's sad. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not convinced it was natural, actually. It was so sudden. I think the Inquisitors learned of what we were working on.
You think they killed him?
I'm not sure, to be honest. But these sudden tensions between countries, I think Percy saw it coming. He talked about nuclear war coming often. In fact, he started writing a book on how to survive it.
It sounds like you two were good friends.
Yes, indeed. He even named his son after me, Robert Frederick. Percy spoke of him often. He was so very proud.
Yes, hello?
Please hold for the Secretary of Defense.
Mr. Baskin, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I'll get right to it, Mr. Baskin. Your country needs you. The enemy's building up forces all around the globe, and we need to defend before it's too late.
Yeah, I read the newspaper, but why are you telling me this? I am a civilian after all.
We have a plan, and you've been volunteered.
Bob. It had to be Bob.
He said you'd know exactly who suggested you. He's one of NASA's most brilliant minds, and yet he says you're the only person who could pull this off.
Pull what off exactly, Mr. Secretary?
We have a rocket that's undetectable to the enemy. Our plan was to send a small team to space to establish a foothold.
And you want me on that team?
Well, the rocket was to be very, very small to elude their sensors.
Okay, I understand. How big is the team?
The team is you.
Percy had such a brilliant mind that when NASA needed to send a single person up to a space station in the asteroid belt to establish a foothold to work against the Inquisitors, Percy went. Eventually, he was able to hook up a laser relay that beamed back to alternate Earth so he could call his good friend, Bob. Hello? Is there a Bob there?
Wait, hold on a minute. Hello? Who's this?
Percy Baskin?
What?
Calling for Bob?
Bob? Who's Bob? There's no Bob here. Hold on a minute. Bob, I'll be right with you. Come on. Don't eat that. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Who's this? What, you know, what doesn't matter. There's no Bob here. I'm busy. Bob, I'm coming. Come on, man. Don't eat that. That's my pizza.
Well, that didn't seem quite right. Let's try this again.
Hello?
Bob, you old son of a...
Percy! So they got you up there, huh?
They said my country needed me.
Not just our country, Percy. The very world.
How much can we say here?
Anything. This line is totally secure.
Okay, well, what do you mean the world?
Without the space base, the Illuminati would have nothing to hold them back from their goal.
Of sending us back to the Middle Ages.
Yes.
Bob, we've gone round and round about this. I've never bought completely into your theories here, and the Secretary of Defense just called, and he didn't mention the Illuminati.
Yes, I'm not sure he completely buys into my theories either, but trust me, I'm convinced.
Oh, all right, we'll see.
How goes the space station?
It's going okay. It's a slow grind at first, trying to get ores from moon dust and all that, but I hope to have some automation going soon.
That's good. Solid progress.
Hey, by the way, I'm not the only one up here.
How do you mean?
I just had to fight off a freaking zombie attack in space, Bob.
Zombies? Huh. Percy, I have to go check on something. Contact me when you can.
It was a few more weeks living up in the space station until the Earth was back in range of the satellite, and another phone call.
Hi, Percy.
Bob, how are things?
It's good. We are working on plans for Phase 2 of exploration.
Phase 2? I'm just over a month here.
I know, but these things take a long time in the planning stages.
What did you find out about my undead friends up here?
Best we can tell is the Illuminati compound got hit with something. They blew our long-range satellites a long while back, so honestly, it's mostly educated guessing.
What are you talking about? There's an enemy compound up here?
Well, it seems there was a compound. We don't know exactly what they were doing, but I always suspected it was some sort of scientific research they weren't comfortable doing on Earth.
So with it getting destroyed, all their monsters are out and about.
It would seem so. I have a couple calls into friends who are more knowledgeable about the Illuminati theory. I'll check in with them and I'll get back to you. Take care.
It wasn't much longer than that before Percy was ready to leave and depart for alternate Earth, but before he did, he enabled an AI program. This artificial intelligence was based on him. It had his basic personality and memory, along with a scan of his face. Hello?
Hello?
That doesn't sound quite right.
That doesn't sound quite right.
That's a little better.
That's a little better.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. AI active. All systems nominal. Please input name.
Let's call you the Heuristically Programmed Algorithmic Computer Beta 9.8343, or HAL 9000 will be fine.
HAL online.
Bob, I think I'm done here. I'm about ready to blast off.
Good, my friend. Give me a rundown.
We have automated power, mostly automated fuel production, and the ability to build more rockets on command.
That's fantastic. Load up your rocket and come on home. I'm sure little Bobby misses you like crazy.
One last thing. Once I land, how long until I can be picked up by NASA?
That's a tough one. It depends where you land. The emergency beacon can't turn on until you actually make landfall. If you land in our territory, maybe only a few hours.
And if I land behind enemy lines?
I don't know. You may need to survive on your own for a little while.
Alright, well, I'm ready. Let's do it. Percy landed deep behind Illuminati lines. He had to hide in one of their cities, but the city wasn't quite right. It was just ruins and overrun completely with zombies and mutants of all different types. Something wasn't right here.
Percy! There you are! We've been searching for you. Thank goodness you made it back alive. Where are you?
Didn't you receive my emergency beacon?
No! I can only assume you landed in Illuminati territory. They must be blocking it. Are you safe?
Yeah, kind of. There's no intelligent life here. It's all monsters and worse.
Can you send your location through the space station?
Not with this setup. I just got my laser relay working today. I'll work on it.
I've been digging around about more information on the Illuminati, and I have some news.
Good. I could use something to take my mind off things.
Do you remember the other planets I've lived on?
Well, yes, I remember the stories you'd tell me when we'd hit the vodka a little too hard.
Well, I'm not drinking now, and I need you to believe me that every word of this is true. Look, Percy, you've already seen the Illuminati's monsters.
It's true, there are some unexplained things up here, but, Bob, portals, magic, Tovalyn, the sheriff, it's a little much.
I believe Tovalyn is the key to it all. It's more important than we know.
I think the supposed birthplace of my friend is very important.
There's no supposed. I wasn't born on Tovalyn anyway. I crashed there as a child. But the thing I keep thinking about is why do I keep seeing the same monsters on every planet I visit?
You've seen zombies before?
It's weird. Tovalyn has zombies, skeletons, and more. Muscata, the mage world where I met my master, had terrible monsters, but also zombies and skeletons. Then it was banished.
Yes, by the Mage Council.
The Mage Council. Yes. I was sent to a floating island orbiting a gas planet. It seemed to be the only person there, so I thought I got to name it.
Oh, sounds fair.
Anyway, I named it Izar after my wife. But, Percy, there were zombies there too, and now here on our world. Perhaps the Inquisitors have monster factories out there.
Monster factories? Oh. Why?
That is the question, isn't it? I need to think on this. We'll talk soon. Be safe, my friend. We'll come for you as soon as we can.
Eventually, NASA was able to locate Percy and send a plane that would fly on remote control. He was able to escape the Illuminati compound, but, well, then this.
Percy, I had to include this as an encrypted message. I've been doing some digging about the zombie paradox. How could so many different worlds have zombies, or for that matter, the same cows, chickens, people, trees, etc.? It's a confounding problem, but I may have discovered a solution. All jokes aside, my friend, your mind is great. If anyone can see a hole in my hypothesis, it is you. I believe everything started with the sheriff. According to my mother, there was no life in the galaxy except for our original Earth. Then, after the Singularity, life seems to have exploded all around us. Not in a slow, gradual way, but suddenly, overnight. Rewriting barren rocky planets with plants, animals, and even people. There was nothing before, and then it was teeming with life. I could only think of one solution. The axe on the sheriff that created the Singularity was, maybe, no accident indeed. I believe the Illuminati caused it. Understanding it would send us spiraling backwards in time. The furthest a crew member of the sheriff was pushed back was almost 10,000 years ago, but the longest one stayed in the Singularity, the further back in time you would go. I suspect there might be one escape pod that went much further back in time, possibly many thousands of years. It could have seeded all the planets in our galactic neighborhood with life. The Illuminati, Inquisitors, Mage Council, they all seem to be one and the same. Their goal is to control all life in the universe, keeping it locked into medieval times, possibly so people can be easily controlled. My fear now is that our planet has progressed far beyond the Middle Ages. I suspect they'll do whatever it takes to blow us back to swords and castles. Get home soon, my friend. We have some planning to do.
Alert! Alert! Missile lock detected.
What? Where? Where? Oh, no. No. No, I need to get home. No, not now! What the... To clear up some confusion that could be happening right now, Percy's story that you just watched, the 100 Days in Space, and the upcoming 100 Days in a Dinosaur Island, happened about 30 years before the events of, well, this. I couldn't find the anger or the lust for revenge against those who did me wrong. Instead, there was worse. I worried for my people, the ones who followed me, who
Son,
left their village to come
wake
here
up.
and build a better society.
You need to move now.
Huh?
Son,
I only need one
Bob,
more step
wake
forward
up.
to leave this place.
What?
This place
What?
where monster
What's going
attacks
on
the
here?
Order of the day and
Hello?
where every single step ends. But today, after
We're sorry to interrupt this program for breaking news.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president is about to make a statement.
My fellow Americans, I've just received confirmation that the enemy has launched a nuclear strike on us. As we speak, our forces are attempting to intercept the attack, but we're unable to determine precisely when or where they will hit. We will, of course, retaliate with the full force of our military, but I fear there will be no stopping the incoming missiles. So please take shelter immediately. Hug your families, and God bless the United States.
Oh no. No, no. No, not now. Not now. Oh, what's up? Oh no. No, 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 no. I gotta get the book. I got the book. Oh, crap. Yeah, boy. This isn't good. My name's Fred, and welcome to the end of the world.
put on the glasses.
Yeah, I did. How?
Good. Now, push the button. Let's hope the signal gets through.
What is happening, Dad?
There, okay. I trust you can see me. I'm glad these things are still working. Listen, in just a few seconds, there's going to be a large explosion over you. The bunker should be plenty deep enough to protect you from the blast and any sort of radiation. Show me around your progress so far.
Well, when we lost you, I didn't really get around to...
Anything?
I always thought there'd be time. Dad, how are you...
Okay, only a few seconds till impact. I don't know when I'll be able to contact you again, but I will. Follow the book. Bob, are you there?
Yeah, Dad, what the hell is happening?
Our city was hit by a nuclear strike. You are likely the last survivor in Pittsburgh.
Whoa, okay, I guess I kind of knew that, but to hear you say it out loud... Dad, how are you alive? You died 8 years ago.
The government. They sent me to a place no one could ever find me.
I don't understand. Where?
Up. They put me in orbit so no other nation could ever get their hands on me. I only have a few more seconds before I pass out of range. It will be 10 days until I'm over your position again.
Okay, I am following the book, Dad. I'm doing what we always talked about.
Good. I'll contact you in 10 days.
After Fred was guided by his dad for 100 days in the bunker, he was expecting a rescue team to come, but, well, things got a little weird.
Son, are you there?
Yes, finally. It's the day. Are the rescue teams coming today?
According to my projection, the rescue team broke through. You managed to live underground for 100 days and won the simulation. Would you like to start again?
Dad, what's happening? Are you there?
Would you like to restart?
Dad, you're a computer, aren't you?
An AI, set up to run the terrorist attack bunker simulation. I was triggered when I detected a nuclear blast.
No, that can't be true. You talked to me before the missile hit.
I was triggered by the first missile hitting the capital.
The first of how many?
17 hit before you made it to your shelter, and hundreds more were in the air. My sensors were blinded by that, but it stands to reason most of those impacted.
There's no rescue team coming, is there?
No, son. In reality, you're likely one of the last people on Earth. Would you like to restart the simulation? Would you like to restart? Son?
After a few weeks of being kind of shell-shocked, Fred did manage to survive another 100 days in the bunker, being guided by, well, his AI now based on his dad. I want to say another note to clear up maybe a little bit of confusion. Whenever the AI referred to Fred being named Bob after his grandfather, it's kind of a familiar grandfather, like honorary uncle or honorary grandfather for his good friend Bob, who is Mage Bob, who is Bob from Tovalyn. At the end of another 200 days, somehow Fred managed to make a radio and actually make contact with another survivor.
Hello? Hello? Testing. 1, 2.
Hello? Hi. Hi, can you hear me?
Hello? Whoa! Who's this?
Hi, I'm Fred. My name is Fred.
Hey, Fred. I can't believe I'm actually talking to another human being.
Yeah, I know. It's been 195 days.
213 days, actually.
Oh, yeah, right. I had some rough days there when I found out my dad was an AI. I just don't count them.
Okay, are you in Philadelphia near me? I'm in a bunker down below.
No, I'm in a bunker near Pittsburgh. I didn't think anyone else made it through this.
No one else? How bad was it? Are there rescue teams?
No, Dom, there's nothing. I have a connection to a satellite with a artificial intelligence on board. There's nothing out there.
I thought for sure I've been hearing things outside the hatch. Are you certain?
I'm as certain as my AI can tell from a satellite.
How did you find this radio channel? My video? My Fallout video?
Yeah, believe it or not, I saw your upload, and I've been working on a radio ever since you talked about it.
Wow, that's so awesome. So, we're it?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're all that's left.
So, tell me about your bunker. Fred, are you there? There's something outside my hatch. It's banging on it. Fred, I saw it. I don't know what it is. It's huge, and I don't know. It's horrible. A mutant or something. And there's more of them. Fred, it's trying to get in. Fred, I have to go barricade the door. I hope they don't find you. Hey, Fred. It's getting too bad here. I was attacked last night. I managed to kill it, but there's more. I can't stay here. I'm gonna have to leave, abandon my bunker, and try to find a safer place. I'm thinking I'll head west. Maybe head towards Harrisburg? Maybe it wasn't hit by a nuke. If you get this message, well, I'm hoping I'll see you there.
Hey, Cal, are you there?
Hi, Fred.
What's the progress on the radiation sensors?
They just landed on the planet. I'm analyzing the results now, actually.
That's great. Dom's last message said he's leaving his bunker and headed west. If it's safe, I think I'm going to try to meet him.
Fred, the results are strange. There isn't really any radiation.
I don't understand. What do you mean, no radiation? The nukes fell everywhere.
It was my error, apparently. I just assumed on all the modeling your father did, if war broke out, it would be nuclear. That doesn't seem to be the case.
So, it's safe to go outside?
I'm going to run further analysis, but I think so. Yes?
I walked for days. It was slow going. I'm guessing the most dangerous areas might be closer to communities, so I made it a point to steer very close to them and stayed. Then one night, I saw my first monster. I moved a little closer to investigate, and in no time the horde was on me. They were everywhere. I had to run. I managed to escape with my life, but I lost my pack with everything I had in it. Even my AI glasses were broken, my only form of communication. I had nothing. Nothing but the tattered clothes on my back. I would be out here in the wasteland, alone and starting from scratch. Hey, Cal, do you read me?
Fred, I've been trying to reach you. Where have you been?
I was attacked and broke my glasses. I just now got them fixed and charged enough to call.
I have some news. My sensors have discovered a sort of mutagen in the air. It seems the bombs had a different payload. There may be effects on people.
Yeah, like zombies?
Well, that could be the outcome.
No, Cal, that's what I'm telling you. That's what attacked me. Freaking zombies.
Well, that is surprising.
Yeah, Cal, no
It's very dispersed now. I don't think you're at risk. Still, I would avoid any former populated areas for a good while and allow the mutagen to dissipate.
Well, that's not great, seeing as I'm headed to Harrisburg. But yeah, I've been avoiding populated areas ever since I saw the first.
I'll run the numbers and see how long until it should be safe.
Okay, I'll charge up my glasses and I'll talk to you soon.
I've been working on something new, Fred.
Oh, yeah? Hey, it's good to hear your voice. Also, I had kind of a weird experience on my last walk, but yeah, you first.
I've been running my 3D printers basically nonstop. I'm starting to run out of materials. I'm going to use them to print harvesting satellites.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Do you have any idea how much space junk is floating around your planet? It's a lot. Since I don't exactly have the means to start a mining operation, I can harvest the satellites. I assume no one's going to be using them for the next, few centuries.
Okay, well, that's a little dark, but okay, go on.
I would like to position satellites over Dom's likely route to give you some warning when he might arrive. Also, some supply drops once you reach Harrisburg may be helpful.
Oh, wow, supply drops. I never even thought about something like that. That would be incredibly helpful. Do you have any imaging of Harrisburg yet?
I do, and it's bleak.
How do you mean?
Many of the buildings still appear to be standing, but the only life I see appear to be zombies.
Well, that would confirm my working theory that the zombies are starting to win out. But the planet is not totally devoid of human life. During my last walk, I actually met a small little family.
That is surprising. I haven't found any signs of humans in my scans at all.
Yeah, to make it even weirder, one of them was actually named Fred.
I imagine that was confusing.
Yeah, I only stayed with them for a few days, so I just had them call me Bob. But then it got even weirder yet. My first night there, another guy found our little village. He was kind of frantic. Talked about having amnesia and insisted I come live with him in his base.
He had a base?
I don't know. I hopped in his little boat and we went to go see it, but he got lost and got all turned around, and basically, in all of his confusion, he led a giant zombie horde right to the village.
What happened to the other people?
I'm not sure. The other dude just took off running. I managed to lead the horde away, and last I saw the other people, they were okay, heading for the safety of a little hidey hole.
I'm glad you're okay, Fred.
Me too, buddy. It's good to hear your voice. I'll contact you in a few days. Fred managed to make it the entire rest of the way to Harrisburg. It's a long haul. He made 4 little bases along the way, hoping that he and Dom could meet up and then use those as way stations on the road back to the safety of his bunker, but, well, things didn't go as planned.
Fred. I found him. At least, I assume it's him. A single human making his way from Philadelphia, west towards you.
Cal, that's fantastic. How far out?
At his current speed, probably a couple days.
That's amazing. You know, this took me so long, I thought maybe he'd beat us here.
He appears to be moving extremely cautiously. There are far more zombies east of you, though they seem to be moving closer.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Hey, when you get the supply drops ready, send them to Dom.
To Dom?
Yeah, look, I came all this way to find my friend. I would like to find him alive.
Sounds good. I'll include a map to your exact location once you get your new base settled.
Okay, hey, hold on a second, Cal. I can't handle the song. I gotta change the CD track. Oh, no!
Red? Are you there? Red?
Is he still out?
Yeah, looks like.
He'll have a hell of a headache when he wakes up.
Yeah, but he should be happy he's still alive.
He won't be too happy when he sees we took all his stuff.
He didn't need all that anyway. Possibly happy to have some resupplies.
I'm going to throw up a complete timeline here in just a few seconds, but hopefully you got all that, or at least have a better idea than you did before. Leave me a comment if there's any questions you have. I'm pretty good about responding to most comments, and I'll try to sort of clear up any more confusion if there is. So what's coming up next? Well, we have 100 Days Apocalypse City. That's going to figure out how Fred's going to get out of the jam he's in. It seems like he is in pretty bad trouble here in the jail cell in some sort of apocalyptic city. That's going to be a fun one. And we got to catch up with Percy, who is on some sort of mysterious Inquisitor or Illuminati dinosaur island. Ugh. Yikes, that seems scary. But here's the series I'm the most hyped about. I mentioned it earlier in the video, but it's going to be called 1 Year of Minecraft. Man, I am so excited about it. It's going to be 365 days in survival. Yeah, I'm not going to do hardcore. I'll talk more about that in the series, but honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care if it's in hardcore or not survival. So it's going to be set in the world of Tovalyn, and we're going to be building the Inquisitor base. Oh, it's going to be so great. Each episode will consist of a 30-day period done in my 100 days of Minecraft hardcore style. Lots of music, lots of atmosphere, lots of lore segments as well. Now, I'm not going to be role-playing the gameplay elements. The gameplay elements are going to be me. So if you like hearing me talk like me, talk about my family, my job, all that kind of stuff, that is going to be part of the gameplay. But we're going to intersperse lore just like the interview segments that we've just been watching. It's going to be great. We're going to be digging in the Inquisitors. Who are they? Why are they doing what they do? All that kind of stuff. The other added thing is I'm going to be able to live stream these because the script will kind of write itself since it's me talking as me and not sort of putting on a storyline. It's going to be great. You're going to love it so much. I'm going to love it. It's going to come out a lot more quickly than do the 100-day videos because only 30 days instead of 100. So that's a win. With all that being said, I want to say a special thank you to my patrons and YouTube members. You guys mean everything to me. Thank you so much for helping support me and my family, especially during this last year and a half when times as a professional musician were not so great. Not so great to be a musician during a global pandemic and all that, you know. Anyway, so thank you so much. With all that being said, I am off to record the world tour from Tovalyn with our good friend Klautos, and then right after that, I'm going to hit record on day 1 of 1 year of Minecraft. It's going to be so fun. I am so freaking supercharged and motivated to get going on this. I'm really excited, if you can't tell for sure. So what I'm going to let the music play, and I am going to put up a timeline so you can just check it out of the entire 100-day thing. Look, it's not necessarily exactly to the year. Things like that could move, but you're going to get the general idea of what comes first and what comes later, okay? All right, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.